On the day of our departure from going down the Petitcodiac River, they knew the French or the English were at Fort Beauséjour. So they thought, well, if we can take a ship there and get the ammunition, we can survive the winter. So we added Cyprien Gautreau to our group, for he was a massive man and we required at least one other to achieve our objective. Indeed, so successful were we that day of our exploits had been repeated over and over again through the years and has made its participants famous to this very day. There were 2 pistols in Abraham Dugas' trunk. That was PIAU's grandfather's. Ammunition and gunpowder were provided by Grand Pierre from the remnants of the arsenal pilfered from Pembroke. The irony of the situation was not lost on me. Our firearms were reinforced by ammunition stolen from a British ship to assist us in the takeover of another English vessel. Now, the Pembroke, I have to just tell you about the Pembroke. You probably already know. There were 2 brothers, Charles and Pierre, and they both captured ships. Charles, who was on the Pembroke, which came out of Port Royal, was bound for the Carolinas. Well, he captured that ship and brought it back. And it went up the St. John River. And anyone that was on that ship, for the most part, went to Quebec City, including Charles. And when Charles got to Quebec City with PIAU's mother, unfortunately, 2 years later, they died of smallpox. But his descendants are there, and they spell Béliveau with one L. And Jean Béliveau, the hockey player, who was a cousin, he was one of those Béliveaux, descendant of Charles. And of course, I am a descendant of PIAU. Well, as I continue, our fishing vessel sailed with the tide down the mighty Petitcodiac. Its passengers were fortified by the belief that we would win the day. We entered Beaubassin early in the morning, and I conjured in my mind Jesus navigating his fishing boat in the stormy Sea of Galilee with his disciples. In our case, we were mastering a different storm. It was not long before we noticed a schooner anchored out in the bay. As we approached the vessel, my nephew Pierre exclaimed, "That is my father's schooner," being Charles. I would recognize it anywhere. We have arrived here for a purpose. God is guiding us this day. The boat did appear to have Charles' imprint upon it. There was no question I had sailed in this very schooner many times. Now was our chance to recapture it and benefit from its booty. We dropped our sails 100 yards from the schooner, and it was not long before its captain and his 8 crew members appeared at the railing. I was the first to speak, being the only one of our group fluent in English. "Good day, Captain. We request permission to come aboard." The captain appeared to be shocked by our sudden arrival, but he smiled broadly, not attempting to disguise his look of good fortune at having its fugitive Acadians in his spider's web. "Come aboard, gentlemen," the captain continued in his congenial manner as we climbed onto the deck of the schooner. Once all 6 of us were standing on board the vessel, the captain declared, "I can now inform you what our mission is aboard the schooner. It is our duty to search for and apprehend Acadian fugitives. I declare you under arrest. You are now our prisoners." It was at that point that I looked at Charlie the Great, who was one of the LeBlanc, one of his son-in-laws, and shouted, "Charge, Charlie!" With a massive blow, Charlie sent the first officer to the deck. He was dead on impact. With blows equal to the first, he downed 2 more crewmen. Bonaventure and Joseph were equally deadly in their attacks. The largest of the crew, who was an extremely powerful man, attacked Pierre and attempted to throw him overboard. Seeing his compatriot in trouble, Charlotte gave a horrifying roar, knocking the man down with a force of 3 men. Cyprien and I drew our pistols and pointed them at the captain and his remaining crew members. They recognized immediately that they had lost the day. The captain capitulated easily and got down on his knees, begging us to spare him. I had only one thought at that moment, and that was the memory of my heroic father succumbing to the British when I was a year old. I could not remember his brutal murder, but I could never forget the loss. I beg of you, monsieur, set me adrift in a lifeboat, and I promise you I will not pursue you. Sure. Captain, I will deliver you the same justice as the English granted my father back in 1707. Ask God to forgive you for your sins. The terrified captain rose and crept backward toward the railing of the schooner. A feeling of overwhelming anger overcame me as I aimed directly at the heart of my enemy and pulled the trigger.